People always ask me, what inspired me to do what I do? What makes SKYIN so unique and so special? It's because our opportunity to be able to take you to see the real Kenya, see the real culture. We take you to real, live, local villages, communities, to offer you the most deep, meaningful exploration of what the country, culture, and environment's all about.
Hello!
To Mombasa! Welcome to the Maasai.
This is amazing. I love it.
This is awesome.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another one of our Vanguard Destination Spotlights. I'm excited today because we're taking you back to Africa. It's about time. We're going to be focused a lot today on Kenya, one of the most magical places in the world. And I'm really excited because we're going to be hearing a wonderful presentation from Skylar Mason of SKYIN, and they do everything just so differently. I've been impressed ever since I learned about this company and ever since I started to see what it is that they do to transform the magical experience in Kenya into something that really hasn't been done before. So I'm really excited about this. And I think it's really, again, about time for us to be looking at returning to Kenya and having these wonderful, impressionable, and ultimate family bonding experiences that one can imagine and possibly not. I think he's going to blow your mind today. So welcome, Skylar. How are you?
I'm doing well, Gabby. Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Really appreciate being able to be with you today on Vanguard and really share the journey of what my company is all about.
I'm so excited. So I'm not even going to hesitate anymore. But let me just let people know that at the end of this presentation, we're going to be talking a little bit about some of your amazing itineraries more in depth. And also you're going to be sharing some information about a special incentive and FAM opportunities. So don't miss that. Stay tuned. We'll catch up with you at the end of Skylar's presentation, but I'm going to turn it over to you to take it away.
All right. Thank you, Gabby. And everybody, I really appreciate you joining us today. My company, SKYIN, goes way beyond just some ordinary business. It's based off my childhood experiences, having grown up living amongst local tribes and local communities in Kenya since I was a very young boy. And the best way for me to really show you what makes my company so unique, so special, and very different than your typical tour operator is to take you on a virtual journey. A journey to really highlight the uniqueness, the authenticity, and the transformation of what SKYIN really does to our travelers. Now, I do like to start off by mentioning we are headquartered in office in Denver, Colorado. My team, my office here in Denver in the USA, works as our international tour operator. Now, we also have an office headquarters and an entire team based in Nairobi, Kenya that works as our local DMC. I really do like to highlight that because it is important as a travel supplier to make sure we have people on the ground with the travelers at all times during their excursion to rest assured that they are taken care of every step of the way. Well, that being said, I would love to start off by introducing you guys and showing you a video to let the journey unfold.
Jambo! Welcome!
I would like for you guys to meet the Maasai. Now, I would love to start this presentation by giving the story and the background of where my company all started. Ever since I was 2 years old, and to this day, my parents have no idea where this came from because they've never been anywhere in Africa before. They said I was so captivated and fascinated in African culture. They said as a toddler in my diapers, I used to run around the house, dance, drum, and sing like I was part of this tribal village. They said every little boy's dream is to go to Disney World, get toys for their birthday. My dream was to always go to Africa. And at the age of 14, I had some family friends who were from Kenya who invited me to come stay with them and their family for an entire summer. Now, as you can only imagine, at such a young age, going to a world so different than our own, staying with local families, immersing myself into local communities, traveling throughout the country with the local guidance and local safety net of my local families with me every step of the way, I was able to get an experience unlike any tourist could ever imagine. And the first time I went to Kenya, I fell in love and started going back ever since, building such extensive relationships throughout the local communities and the surrounding villages. Well, about 5 years ago, I got to a point in my life that I needed to change. I was running my family business at the time, and I felt like my calling was not being pursued. I felt like what I was destined to do, what my legacy was all about, I wasn't accomplishing it doing what I was currently doing. And at that point in the time in my life, I kind of was in more of a little depression stage. So I went to a place that I call home, and that's going back to Kenya. Well, I spent about 3 months in Kenya, and my Kenyan mother, as she was driving me back to the airport to come back into the US, I looked at her deep in the eyes and I said, Mama Joy, I know what my calling is. I see that there's a huge need in this part of the world because there's such a lack of jobs and opportunities. And I feel that it's my calling to be able to get back out here and create those opportunities for these local communities and local villages that I call my family. I got back to the US and I didn't know what I was going to do. Do I build something? Do I manufacture something? Do I resource something? What do I do to create opportunities and jobs in Kenya? And I was talking to one of my really, really close friends who I went to college with back in the day, and I was telling her about this. And just like any good friend, not really well traveled, sees where I'm currently at in my life, she was challenging me. She was questioning me. She said, Skylar, why? Why in the world would you want to do something like this? I mean, you live here in the US. You come from a very successful family-owned business. Why? And I remember immediately I said, you don't know what I've experienced, what I've witnessed, what I've seen, and how I've been treated for the last decade of going to a world that I may not look like them. I sure don't sound like them. But you know what? They know how to make me feel like I am one of them. And her response immediately after was, Skylar, you feel this way because of the way you've been able to experience Kenya. Less like a tourist and more directly like a local. Don't you think there's other travelers, adventure seekers, who would love to have this experience just like yourself growing up out there? My answer is absolutely. But nobody has built the extensive relationships to the places that I'm able to take guests and our travelers to and really see it how a local would see it. And then right then and there, just like you see in the cartoon characters where a light bulb flashed on top of their head, ding, 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 brilliant idea. That was my calling. My calling was to duplicate the same immersive, authentic, intimate experiences of traveling through Kenya through the lens of a local, but to really do it in a way that's going to create sustainable jobs for the local communities and the surrounding villages. Now on to our next slide, I'd love to be able to show you our local team. So as I mentioned, we have a team based in Nairobi, Kenya. My entire team is 100% locals, and they will always 100% remain locals. Now moving on, I'd love to be able to present to you a message from the founder video. My name is Skylar Mason. Ever since I was a young boy, I have traveled to different parts of Africa, living amongst the locals. And what they have showed me is the true value of life. They have brought me into their lives as one of them. I truly believe that the best way to travel is to see it how a local would see it. I created SKYIN because I want to give the same experiences to travelers, adventurers who want to see a new perspective on life and be able to immerse themselves into this beautiful and captivating, fascinating culture through the lens of a local. This is not meant for everybody, but those people who are itching to explore beyond the beaten path of a typical tourist, then SKYIN is right for you. From the beautiful beaches of Mombasa, wildlife, its culture, to all the different tribal villages, your host family will be by your side to make sure your trip is one you will never forget. Kenya has changed my life, and I know it will change yours. Now, throughout this entire presentation, I'm going to be highlighting many different elements of what makes SKYIN so unique and so special than your typical tour operator. And one of the greatest elements is that we connect all our travelers directly with highly vetted local host families in Kenya. Now, not only do they have the opportunity to come to Kenya and stay with a local family for part of their excursion, but as they travel throughout the country and all the unique and exclusive experiences that we offer for our travelers, our local team and our local families travel with guests by their side every step of the way. They're there for their insights and tips, for their local knowledge. They're there for their personal resources, But most importantly, they're there for their safety and security, because we don't take our travelers where all the tourists go to. We take them far off the beaten path into remote areas. And for the last 5 years, all our travelers come back saying the same thing. They could never imagine doing what they did, seeing what they saw, or experience Kenya how they experienced it without the local guidance and safety net of our families by their side every step of the way. Now, all our host families are highly vetted. They speak fluent English, they go through high amounts of internal comprehensive training, and they're also background and screened through the government each and every year. Now, I'd love to be able to introduce you to some of our families.
Hello, Jambo.
We are
The Muragas. We are excited to host you and take you around Kenya in this SKYIN adventure.
Karibu Kenya.
Hakuna Matata.
Hi, we are the
Muhindi family.
and we're excited that you're coming to visit us here in Kenya, and we are thrilled to take you on this amazing SKYIN adventure. See you soon. Bye.
Hi, this is the Untitled family. We are glad to have you in our country for the SKYIN adventures. Hope you will enjoy learning our culture, eating Kenyan food, and touring our country. Bye.
But the best part is that the experience doesn't happen and doesn't start when the travelers touch down in Kenya. It starts ahead of time by getting to know their host families through video chats. This allows our travelers and our host families to build a relationship, to build a bond, the trust, the comfortability, the confidence months before they even arrive in Kenya. It also, by going through a series of video chats prior to arrival, it also allows our host families to get to know travelers far in advance. If they have any food allergies or sensitivity, if they have any disabilities, handicaps, or restrictions. With typical companies, when your travelers walk outside those airport doors, they're usually looking for some random guy with some sign to take them to their hotel and lodge. Here at SKYIN, we're very different, and our travelers say it's an experience of its own to walk outside those airport doors, and the first people they see as they enter into Kenya is their local host family with the big, warm, welcoming hugs. It allows travelers to feel like they're welcome. It allows them to feel like they're coming home. Now, getting into the experiences, one of the biggest, greatest elements of what makes us so unique is the indigenous tribal communities that we take our travelers to. Unlike typical safari companies who take their travelers to very commercialized villages, what that looks like is that they're there for 1 hour, they pay as they get in, they sit on a bench and watch performers from a distance jump and dance and sing. They take them around and do a tour around their huts, and then they're out. It's very commercialized, it's more of an act, it's more of a demonstration. Here at SKYIN, we take our travelers to real, live tribal communities. This is an opportunity for travelers to be able to spend time, engage, meet the chiefs of the tribe. They're going to storytell with the elders inside their huts, learn the roles of the woman and the warriors from the roots of it all. They're going to learn how they cook, prepare, and even slaughter their food, how they make their beads and their jewelry, to their huts, to gathering water from the watering holes, to the education for the local children. Here at SKYIN, we are here to offer the most exploration of their culture, traditions, and rituals, but from the roots of it all. Not only do travelers have this opportunity to come to these tribes and have an enriching experience, but it creates a lot of sustainable impact for these communities that they don't have elsewhere. It creates a lot of jobs and a lot of income to be able to come in and support these communities and their local projects. Now, every time we do get groups out in Kenya, we always get the question, how in the world does SKYIN afford this opportunity? I mean, this is the real deal. This is like what you see in Nat Geo Wild. It's because of the relationships I've built with these tribes since I was a very young boy. I've been a part of them for over a decade now. They look at me like I'm one of their sons, like I'm part of the family, and I now love to be able to offer and say that I can take my travelers to places that no typical people have the opportunity to go to. Now, moving on to the next slide, another huge element of what makes us so unique is how all our excursions offer the most authentic blend of both culture and wildlife, all in a grand scheme of an excursion. Now, this is not your typical trip or vacation. This is a transformative experience, a life-changing journey. And every experience, activity that we offer is to give a more meaningful, soul-grabbing type of journey. Going to Mombasa, one of our top destinations we love to take our travelers to, known for its white sand, crystal blue water beaches. Travelers get the opportunity to spend some beautiful time on the exotic beaches and staying at beautiful beachfront resorts. But we also put them through multiple different excursions as well. We take them to multiple different slave trade era monuments and museums to learn about about the past ancient times of the slave trade. We take them on these ancient sailing excursions on these dhow boats where they're sailing the Indian Ocean. Their crew and skippers are in the back drumming and singing, putting on a performance with Coke cans and water bottles. They're going to see dolphins swimming right up to the boat. They're going to get to snorkel the pristine waters of the coral reefs of the Indian Ocean. We're also going to take them on an Old Town City tour to learn about the Swahili culture and where it originates from. So Mombasa is certainly a top destination to get a deep exploration of its history, culture, and local lifestyle. Now, some other experiences we love to be able to offer and take our travelers to is local schools and local orphanages that I have been a part of for a very long time. This is an opportunity for travelers to be able to spend time engaged, hear some of the stories of the children, learn about the education and how they're growing up. And everybody comes together and sings and dances. Our travelers say it's an exhilarating experience of its own. And when it comes to the local orphanage, part of the proceeds goes towards well-needed supplies that we actually give to the travelers to bring into the orphanage during their visit. Because here at SKYIN, it's all about how we are making a difference with the communities that we're engaging with, but the transparency behind that. Now, moving on to the next slide, we all know Kenya is absolutely well known for its majestic wildlife, and we want to incorporate this into all our excursions. So visiting the renowned Giraffe Center, the David Sheldrick Baby Elephant Orphanage, these are not zoos, these are rehabilitation wildlife sanctuaries where travelers get the opportunity to learn about the conservation of these majestic animals, but also affords them the opportunity to get hands-on with them as well. The next thing is we would love to be able to take our travelers and take them on a handcrafted safari. This is, as we all know, Kenya's majesty of its wildlife, its national parks. But here's a quick fun fact for you. Over 30% of my business are reoccurring travelers who have been to Kenya before. The reason they come back and travel with us is because their previous time in Kenya, they went on a basic safari. A beautiful luxury safari where they saw exotic animals in their natural habitat was breathtaking. But when they got to Kenya, they realized that Kenya is also made up of its culture, its people, its stories, its children, its rituals. There's just so much that goes into it. And they felt like when they went on their typical safari that they really got the highlight of all the animals and the wildlife, but they missed out on that cultural experience. So here at SKYIN, I designed my company to offer the most authentic blend of both culture and wildlife, all in a grand scheme of a Kenyan excursion. Now here at SKYIN, we offer two different types of excursions. We specialize in custom tailor-made excursions where me and my grounds team work directly with you and your clients to curate itineraries based off their interests, their desires, when they want to travel, how they want to travel, all privately traveled. And then we also offer small set plan group excursions throughout the year. They usually are our most popular 10-day itinerary with set dates. And this is more designed for solo travelers because we all know a solo custom trip can get a little bit pricey. So being able to join solo travelers or a small group of two to join on a set planned excursion, that means they can meet new people along the way and experience the journey all together. Now, just so you guys know, custom excursions are sold to you at a net rate, and you would put your markup on top of that. A big selling point is that our company is mainly strictly B2B. We have less than 1% of our business is actually when it comes to selling directly to the clients. So that being said, if we were to ever sell from our net rates to our rack rates of what we would sell directly to the clients is a 20% markup. So a lot of our agents love to work with us because they can see such great potential, not only in the excursions, but the commissions they make because they have less than a 20% range to still be competitive with our pricing if we were to ever sell it to the public. Now, another reason why people love to work with us is because we are a one-stop shop. Here at SKYIN, we take care of everything for you and your clients from the second they touch down in Kenya to the second they take off. It's all covered through SKYIN. All their room and board accommodations, all their meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinners. We hire private drivers, certified vehicles throughout the entire excursion. We take care of their village experiences, their safaris, the domestic airfare. Everything's included. The only thing we do not take care of is the pre-travel, such as their international airfare, their visa, their travel insurance. But that is why we love to be able to work with agents, because at the end of the day, we are a one-stop shop partnering together to be able to provide clients the ultimate excursion that's taken care of all through us. Now, going to the next slide, I'd love to be able to get into the accommodations, because another reason why people love to travel with us is throughout each excursion, there's a variety of different accommodations that travelers will be staying in. One of the accommodations is an exclusive Nairobi homestay. Just like our host families, all our homestays are highly, highly vetted. They live right in the capital city of Nairobi, so near major hospitals, police stations, the embassies, international airports, clinics, all in very safe, secured, monitored neighborhoods. I love to be able to say that all our homes are very suburban homes. You'd find very similar here in the US or in European countries as well, with all the amenities that we're used to. So they have to have private, comfortable bedrooms, complete bathrooms with running hot water showers, toilets, complete plumbing, accessible Wi-Fi, electricity. Now, staying in a Nairobi homestay is only for part of the excursion. For example, out of our 10-day itinerary, only 5 nights is spent at a Nairobi homestay. And it's not 5 consecutive nights, it's actually 5 nights spread out throughout the itinerary. Now, if you do have travelers, clients who want a full immersive experience, then the homestay is certainly suited for them. But if they want tidbits and just want the immersive experiences, then we can opt out of the Nairobi homestay and host them at private hotels and lodging nearby during that homestay portion of the trip. Now, when we take them to Mombasa, obviously on the coast, known for its beautiful beaches, we already host them at beautiful beachfront resorts, right on the water, overlooking the ocean. Our travelers love the establishments that we choose with, and do keep in mind on our 10-day, one of our most popular 10-day itineraries, 3 nights is spent at a beautiful beachfront resort. And then last but not least, when they go on their safari, we host up beautiful safari camps and safari lodges inside the national parks. So a beautiful thing about these luxury safari camps is that it's kind of like glamping. They're inside these big, beautiful tents with furniture, running hot water showers, complete bathrooms, toilets, etc. But they're in the middle of the national park. They can hear the animals at night, see all the stars. So that's another reason why people love to travel with us, is not just the uniqueness and all the different variety of experiences that we offer, but also the variety of accommodations they'll be staying at, from a beautiful homestay to a beachfront resort on the water to then these luxury safari camps inside the national parks. Now, moving on, I would love to be able to provide you guys a testimonial video from some of our previous travelers.
I met Sydney about 4 years ago, and since then we've been kind of talking about exploring the world together.
We chose SKYIN because of the ability to see so many different things.
They were able to immerse us into the actual culture, and the host families, they were there to really show us what it is to be a real local.
At the end of the trip, I considered them to be family. Going to the beach was definitely a highlight for me.
Watching wildlife, going to these indigenous tribes that not many tourists are able to go to, it was something that I will never forget.
What's really awesome about SKYIN is they care about being able to support the local community.
We were able to go to the orphanage. It really showed me that no matter where you are in the world, we're all in this together.
SKYIN touched our soul and made us see life so much differently, and that's the only way I will travel now.
Now, I'll be the first person to tell you, this type of journey, this type of experience, excursion, is not suited for everybody. This is definitely your non-cookie cutter, off the beaten path type of an adventure. But for those travelers looking to go to a place that's a bucket list destination, but to safely and securely really see it through the lens of a local, less than a tourist, but the perspective of how a local would see it, and to build deep relationships, connections, bonds with the local communities, the surrounding villages, the children, their host families, but do it also in a way that's going to give back and create sustainable jobs and opportunities for our communities to welcome you into their lives and show you what they're all about. Now, I do have one last video to wrap up this presentation to walk you through step by step of what this incredible journey looks like.
It's time to experience Africa in a whole new way. Anyone can travel like a tourist, but with SKYIN, you become a local. SKYIN helps you experience travel in a unique, authentic way by not just seeing the culture, but living it. With SKYIN, we connect you to our local host families long before your trip even begins. After months of breaking the ice, Meeting your family for the first time feels just like coming home. Gather around the family table and experience what true African home cooking is all about. Venture off throughout Nairobi and really see where the locals go. Step outside your comfort zone and immerse yourself in unique adventures you won't and can't have anywhere else. Don't just see a village, but live in one of ours for a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Dip your feet into the beautiful sandy beaches of Mombasa. Get up close and personal with nature. Go on a safari and see animals in their own natural habitat. See firsthand the vibrancy of the Maasai and their unique way of life. Sleep under the stars while nature thrives all around you. Travel is best when you are doing it with family. SKYIN connects you with our open and loving families who will be there by your side to ensure your trip is one you won't forget. Once you are ready to live like a local, just SKYIN Kenya.
And that right there, guys, is what the journey of SKYIN's all about. Now, another reason why a lot of our agents and partners love to work with us is because of how personable a company we really are. Here at SKYIN, we work with every single one of our travel agents side by side to be able to not sell or promote, but help them educate their clients on this type of unique and authentic experience. So with that being said, this presentation that you see today, I offer this presentation to any of our partners and then offer it to their clients as well to be able, like I said, to be able to educate them on what this is really all about. And we like to say that education is what leads to conversion. So with my local team, as well as myself, being hands-on with all our partners to make sure that we are here to provide you the assets, as well as the educational component to be able to help promote this, sell this, and certainly experience this with your clients and your travelers as well. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
Well, that was beautiful. And I thought that video, I mean, Africa's emotional already. I had to just think about dabbing the tears here as I was watching that, because that was just gorgeous. And I think so much of Africa is made up, or an African journey is made up of connecting with people. And, it goes so far beyond the animals, beyond the beaches and all of that. And I think you captured all of it beautifully. So I'm so excited about that. And I know that you've created so many beautiful itineraries. Why don't you take us through some of the real highlights that some people have come back and said, wow, this particular element blew my mind, or I never expected this to happen.
Absolutely. And, as I mentioned, what really stands us out is that most companies really focus on the wildlife. And yes, that is a big component of what we offer. But here at SKYIN, we want to make sure that we offer that immersive cultural experience as well to be able to add on to any safari package. So what people love about our itineraries is that it offers such an authentic blend of both culture, wildlife, the beaches, the homestays, the city, all into one grand scheme of an excursion. Yes, part of the stay you will be going and staying with a local homestay, but you're not going to be at the homestay during the day. You're going to be going out and about doing all the different experiences and coming back to the homestay or your private lodging for dinner night and overnight stay. So now in all our excursions, as I mentioned, such an authentic blend of different variety of experiences, from going to two separate distinctive indigenous tribes. So as most people know, the renowned Maasai, as well as the Mijikenda. These are 2 full days immersed into these tribal communities for our travelers to get such a deep exploration of who they are. You're also going to be visiting multiple different wildlife sanctuaries, as I mentioned, the Baby Elephant Orphanage, the Giraffe Center. You're going to be going on a very authentic sailing voyage on the Indian Ocean, snorkel the pristine waters of the coral reefs. You're going to be visiting local schools, local orphanages, going to local markets. You're also going to be going on a handcrafted safari and so many more different type of excursions as well throughout it. So that's one thing that really does stand us out, is that you're not just going on a 6-day, 10-day safari seeing animals every single day. You're going to have a beautiful portion of that, but you're also going to be able to go to these gorgeous beaches. You're going to be able to really connect deeply with these tribes and these families, and you're really going to leave Kenya, we like to say, transform in your own way, because this is certainly not just your typical trip or vacation. This is a life-changing, transformative excursion.
So beautifully put. And I think the best way to understand it is to experience it. So you've got some information to share with a lot of the members of our trade on incentives and FAM opportunities. So why don't you dive into that and tell everybody what's available?
Absolutely. So this year we are offering 2 separate FAM excursions. The first one will be in mid-June. This is a 10-day excursion. The other one is going to be in beginning of November. That's also going to be a 10-day excursion, and I will be leading both these excursions with my local team in Kenya. So it's an amazing opportunity for travel agents to be able to experience this hands-on, firsthand, while also getting an amazing discounted rate for our agents for these FAM trips. Now, we also offer different tiers of incentive programs. So a lot of our agents love to put together, yes, we can really focus on small, individual groups, such as like a family of 4, a couple for their anniversary, but a lot of our agents love to be able to put together group excursions, specifically because it's an opportunity for them to be able to join the group and be able to experience it all together. Now, with our incentive programs, we offer multiple different tiers, as I mentioned. The first tier is allowing travelers to be able to, if an agent gets 8 or more travelers to join a group excursion, then the travel agent pretty much pays for their bare expenses, and that's it. So it's at a very, very discounted rate for the travel agent to join the group. Now, if the agent puts together 15 people in a group excursion, then SKYIN will pay for the travel agent to be able to join along with the group. So not only do they make a really great commission off every single individual in the group, but now they get a free trip out of it as well. I also like to put this in effect that I built my company because Kenya is a home. It's as much as the U.S., Kenya is my home, and I like to spend a lot of my time down there as well. So I do allow with travel agents, they love the idea of the founder, myself, to be able to join and accompany the group as well. So with planning far in advance, I can certainly work with my agents to make sure that I can accommodate any group excursion that they wish to be able for me to join. And it is a selling point to say, hey, guess what? The agent, as well as the founder of the company who's taking us on this immersive excursion, is going to be joining us. It's a thing of its own. So here at SKYIN, because my business is so heavily with B2B, we really take a lot of pride and joy to build such deep connections with and relationships with our partners. And we're here to make sure that not only is it a business to make money for both parties, but it's also an opportunity for travelers and agents to really be able to join and experience this themselves. So we work hands-on with all our agents to make sure that we're taking care of them every step of the way.
Amazing. And I think everybody should take advantage of that. They should visit Kenya at least once, if not more, in your life. And this was just a spectacular overview of being able to share kind of the differences and just the core elements that make these journeys so special. And I think that the only chance we have of, moving forward in this world is educating ourselves and our children. So I see this as pretty much the ultimate family experience that anyone could imagine.
And that's the best part about it, is that we are really heavily on educating travelers, because first off, going to Africa, going in an immersive journey, there's a lot of red flags. There's a lot of barriers to entry. There's a lot of concerns why people may be hesitant to experience it, because they're not well educated on how it truly is out there, on how safety and security is the #1 priority, and making sure that we, are a very well-established company. And so that's why I love to be able to work hands-on with my partners. So I will never, and this is kind of my promise from the founder, I work hands-on with all my partners. So whenever they have an inquiry, a question, a comment, they want to put on a co-host a presentation together, I am their main point of contact. I do have multiple representatives that are here in my office right now, but as someone that I just built this company off my blood, sweat, and tears, off my life experiences, my journey growing up, it's important that how hands-on I am with my agents and their clients. So just like you said, Gabby, it's about the educational component. That element is very important because education leads to conversion. So by being able to work with our agents hands-on and be able to co-host presentations or webinars with them, obviously with no obligation, it's just our duty, my duty, to be able to work with our agents to be able to provide an educational element, to be able to really show and and tell the story of why SKYIN is the way to be able to experience it.
Well, you put that all so beautifully, and this is wonderful. We'll make sure that all of Skylar's information is in the chat, and you'll be hearing from him after this presentation. We'll follow up with some great itineraries, and you can always reach him even beyond this. So we'll make sure that you have all of the details here. Please look into Kenya, connect with him. There is no better journey in life, really, than to connect with it, to grab the African soil and to see these wonderful people and learn about their lifestyles, and just it will, I promise you, leave an impression for the rest of your life, as it has for me too. So thank you again for joining us. We will see you again soon. And please think Kenya and think wonder. So thank you for spending time with us today.
Thank you, guys. Gabrielle, I appreciate it. And I welcome all to the Travels That Touch the Soul. That's what this is really all about. And I welcome anybody and everybody to be able to join us in our local families, and our local team and communities for the most enriching, life-changing type of excursion in a very high top destination in the world, bucket list item. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Bye, everyone.
I feel like new sunglasses, like a brand new pair of jeans. I feel like taking chances. I feel a lot like 17. Never thought I'd feel like this.
Super sweet.
Brand new.